Unmuting us and transitioning. All right. So I'm live right now with Phillip Anderson, King Free Speech, Team Save America. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm just going to give a little bit of an introduction because I've been saying a lot of shit on Twitter today, and I personally apologize to Phil, but I'd like to formally apologize for not having the conversation with you first, my dude. It was not cool. We settled that on our own.
Don't even worry about it. Shit happens. Don't even worry about it.
I just want to make it clear before we go into this that, like, you settled this personally before you came live. Like, this isn't like the baked situation where he was like, let's settle this live. So I wanted to get that out of the way. But also, it was just, like I said, when I first started tweeting about this earlier, it was right after I was booted from the chat, and my assumption was that it was basically to silence me. But Phil, has more than taken responsibility. There was going to be other security other than the police, and the news did not adequately represent how much police were there. There was at least...
Or how many attendees were there. They didn't actually, it's like, 10 to 15. I'm like, no, dude, there was at least 100.
Yeah.
You just didn't see them there in front of the stage because they would literally get beaten up and murdered if they try to get closer to the stage where they actually were supposed to be.
Yeah, I wanted to give you the opportunity to clear that up. And I also, like I said, I wanted to set the record straight myself because we were in a completely different place this morning, and I wanted to be able to, have people see what was really going on. I know you've been doing a lot of news talks and stuff like that, but I wanted to kind of do something more personal. I know you've also, one of the other criticisms that I offered was that I didn't think there was any outreach towards any of the other people. I was mistaken. Phil has not only spoken to these people, but he has donated his own money. So again, that's something I commend you for, and I think that we, as patriots, need to, step up to the plate. This is the one of the pinnacle moments that we need to capture, because never before has Antifa chased a black man down, called him the N-word, assaulted him, and all in the name of...
And then they also practically broke the leg of a Hispanic man, and also attacked his wife. They were both the man and his wife were running away. They knocked him to the ground, and they were kicking on him, stomping on him, and I think they shattered a bone in his leg or something. Yeah. No, they broke his hip. From what I heard.
Okay.
And they also knocked over 2 senior citizens.
Yeah.
And this is just what I've seen. I've heard things that I haven't seen footage of, but this is just what I've seen on video. And this is absolutely ridiculous that it's happened. I do take full responsibility for the fact that it happened, but at the same time, I hope that everyone will take into account that it's literally impossible to stop them from doing this. Yeah. With what I had available to me. I mean, maybe...
Well, that's why people had the problem in the first... Or that's why I personally, I'll speak for myself, had the problem leading up to the event, because there was a lot of suggestions for, security and stuff like that, and in the future, I know that we'll delegate a little better and we'll be able to plan better. And we also, we do know Antifa is violent. We do know Antifa comes to hurt us, and... we have to anticipate...
I'll fully admit that I could have done better to plan things, but the full blame has to be put on Antifa. We can't just be like, oh, well, you should have been expecting them to be, beating people up, murdering people, attacking police.
I mean,
that's not an expectation. You shouldn't have expectations like that, okay?
But we do.
We need to make a change here,
With everything that's been happening in the last several months, with all the riots and the cities being burned down, that's actually, all I expect from Antifa is that they're going to show up and they're going to try to kill somebody.
I know, but I'm just saying, we should fully blame them.
I agree.
We should blame them.
I agree with that. I'm just saying that the approach, I think, should just be a little bit different. I'm saying that, and what part of the reason I wanted to have this stream is because I wanted to help reassure people that in the future, when these things are going to happen, we have learned our lesson, right? We're not going to treat them as if they are anything but terrorists going forward, and we're going to be prepared to have to defend ourselves.
Much better prepared. But at that certain area, that venue, no matter what we did, they would have been able to throw things at the stage, no matter what we did. I mean, you're telling, people can tell me plan better. I'm telling you, I literally, right now, sitting here, have no idea how to stop like over 500 terrorists, from attacking people with like a security plan. I just don't know of that, because no matter what I announce, Antifa is going to see it. Okay. Mm-hmm. I can send emails to people. They use fake emails. They'll get an email and then they'll tell the entire crowd of Antifa that's going to show up, okay, here's the actual time they're showing up. Here's how we're going to disrupt this event. Here's how we're going to attack people who try to enter the event. When it comes down to it, it's literally impossible to have a conservative or Republican event in an outdoor venue that anyone can walk into. It's just impossible. Police barricades won't work, not unless they're set up like entire blocks down the street or something.
That's what's worked. Whenever I've been to any of these kinds of events, the police organize with the security in order to set up barricades so that there's at least a certain amount of distance between them, and that's usually about a block. And then when they have those barricades, like, for example, in DC, when they had the barricades, I was able to get they can kind of, you can really tell when it comes to stuff like that, especially like the Trump people. You can really separate them from most Antifa. So they were pretty diligent about separating who was being let through and who wasn't.
So just to be clear, I have done more than just donate. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that if there's anyone else out there, which I haven't seen, I'm pretty sure it would have been told to us by now. Someone actually had to go to the hospital from what was reported, which obviously there aren't so many people who are honestly reporting on who was actually attacked. Just saying only 1 or 2 people into the hospital. Oh, really? That's your expectation? It's not that bad because just 1 or 2 people in the hospital this time. Screw you, fake news. Yeah. Okay, so.
Well, they tried to make it seem like there wasn't any serious injury, and look at your teeth. Like, this isn't, can you imagine for a moment if, let's say, a Proud Boy had shown up to an Antifa protest and knocked some black kid's teeth out. Knocked his front teeth out.
You know what would happen? I would be a millionaire. I'd have, 500,000 followers on Twitter right now. I would not be deplatformed right now. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened, because it's the opposite, the reverse. Antifa knocking my teeth out, mm-hmm. me being the victim of a hate crime.
It's not
sucker punch 2 times in a row. I get deplatformed, not my attackers, me. My attacker is literally arrested right now, getting charged with mayhem and also hate crime enhancement. And guess what? Even though he's probably going to get about 15 to 20 years in prison, he's not banned. I am. He's not deplatformed. I am. What the hell, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? What the actual hell are you doing?
Well, they really showed their cards. They really exposed themselves in these crucial situations where they have the opportunity to do the right thing. And it's just another example of how they're failing to support democracy in America, and how they're failing to do anything but be the whip for the Democratic Party, very much like Antifa. They're doing the dirty work for these politicians, and they're laughing their way to the bank. They don't really care. We know Antifa wants to hurt us. They don't care. They'll laugh it off, and they'll make flyers about you in San Francisco. They'll make joke videos.
They lied about me. These people are really racist. They said, this guy's a white supremacist. He's a fascist. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, he may not necessarily be a white supremacist, but he's the coon or Uncle Tom who's organizing an event for white supremacists because he's trying to push a fascist movement. They're trying to build a fascist movement. I'm like, dude, first off, you're white, I'm black. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
These people are insane. They told every single lie they could tell. They told people that I was saying that I was going to come and beat the living shit out of people. They took a video completely out of context. As you can see, if you actually went to the event, I didn't put my hands on anyone.
Yeah,
I didn't go and, threaten anyone. I was nothing but peaceful and nice to them. I didn't even say a single curse word while I was there, even though they knocked out my teeth. Okay, so you can't say that I was coming to fight people, that I tried to be violent, just because you find a video and you take it completely out of context and you deceptively clip it. That's not real. What you did was 100% unprovoked violence. That's a fact. You're terrorists, or you support these terrorists and their actions. And you're not really for Black lives. You don't believe Black Lives Matter. You don't believe that anyone's lives matter. And that's exactly what it is. So with Gina and Mark Lopez, I didn't just donate, to their GoFundMe because that wouldn't have been enough, because I don't really have much funds right now. So I gave them $100 and for myself. And then I put their GoFundMe on the Alex Jones show. We shouted them out. and then their GoFundMe skyrocketed up to about $1,000 from where it was earlier. So now it's at like $1,000. I'll be putting their GoFundMe and anyone else's GoFundMe who's actually injured in my interviews. And I'm going to have to shout them out to make sure that you guys get the funding you need, because I know that Mark and Gina, I talked to them on the phone, and they said that Mark probably wouldn't be able to work for about a month and a half or so because of his injury, his broken hip. So we're going to make sure that he's taken care of, that he doesn't have to worry about money for a month and a half until he's fully healed up. And I hope that you guys will be supportive of Mark and Gina. And if you can't donate to them at their GoFundMe, then go ahead and let them know how much it supports them and appreciates them.
I'm going to republish this on a couple other platforms, and I'll include links for that kind of stuff, and I'll edit in the pictures of the stuff that we talk about.
But at the same time, I hope you guys realize that going back into San Francisco, because that's exactly what I'm planning to do, I wasn't planning on having another free speech rally anytime soon. I wasn't planning on going out and doing anything, politically active once again. But guess what? I'm minding my own business on Twitter, not going out doing anything. All I did was post the picture of my face and the videos of what was happening. And then they start banning me. They banned me on Instagram. So then I exposed them for wrongfully banning me on Instagram for no reason by showing that at the exact same time, Facebook put me on a 30-day ban to where I couldn't post or message or comment anything. Okay. And I post the pictures of the violation notifications. The notification that I violated their standards. They sent me like 3 of those because I posted a picture of just our flyer for the event, our flyer for the free speech rally. They took that picture down. They said it was against their community guidelines. I posted it as an event, inviting people. When you post a little event thing on Facebook and your friends can see.
Yeah.
They even took that down, and said that it was against their guidelines. I'm like, that's not even a picture. Those are just letters, words, free speech rally. But that's against it's bullshit. So then they did it again when I posted a live video, talking about the free speech rally and the time and the place. And then that's when they put me on a 30-day ban. And the most crazy thing is that when I went on Twitter and I exposed them for it, saying, this is the real reason why Instagram banned me. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for telling us the truth, Facebook. Because Facebook and Instagram are the same thing. They're owned by the same people work for them. So when Instagram banned me, like I said, Facebook put me on that 30-day ban from posting, commenting, or doing anything. And because I posted the picture showing that, completely exposing them, Facebook immediately bans me. Right after I posted the next post, which is a video saying we have the right to free speech, we have the right to peaceful protest. And I really went in this video. I think that you posted or retweeted someone else who posted it. This is the last thing I posted before they banned my Twitter account, where I said, the funny thing is I said in this video, they're probably going to ban my Twitter account in the morning. They're about to take me out completely. I was right. I told everyone, spread the news.
Yeah.
The big tech thinks that you're a slave. They don't believe in your right to free speech. They don't believe in your right to peaceful protest. And they're going to ban me on everything. I'm not going to exist after this video. That's literally what I said. And just an hour after that video, actually, no, just 40 minutes after that video that I posted, they banned me on everything. Okay, because they watched my video, they look at all my posts, and that's just insane. It's like I get banned on Twitter, I get banned on Instagram, I get banned on Facebook, not just my public account, my private account too, which I haven't posted on in like 4 months.
Yeah.
It's like, and even my public account, I don't post on there that often, okay? So they're going to say, oh, we're going to take down your account because you violated community standards. That's what Instagram didn't even say that. They just said my account was disabled. They didn't even say why. And then Facebook said, oh, you violated community standards. And they showed like all the possible reasons to why. I'm like, okay, but tell me why. Tell me what I said or did, a post, anything, a statement I made. They can't because it's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the reason why
fact is you damage their narrative. Your story damages the narrative that Antifa is an idea. Your story damages the narrative that they care about the black community.
Antifa is just their mindless, brainless, free labor. They're free terrorists that
Yes.
defend them for free.
Like I said, they're the whip for the Democratic arm. I mean, they're the whip. They're used as mindless drones to start problems, and they're trying to start a race war. Really.
Yeah, what I want you to everyone to take into account is that it's not necessarily that's not really the reason why they banned me, because of what Antifa did to me. It's what I was fighting for. The fact that every single time there's a story that put out, it said the event was billed as a protest against Twitter and big tech for free speech, or the event was a free speech rally and protest against big tech and Twitter. And guess what? Millions and millions and millions of people, the entire country has now seen that sentence.
Yeah.
So even though I got my teeth knocked out, even though some people got hurt, gotta admit, it sucks. But when we're sitting here and standing here right now, we can say it was worth it. Not when it happened, but now we can say this was worth it, because now the entire country has just seen the sentence, free speech rally and protest against Twitter and big tech.
Well,
that's why they're pissed off at me. That's why they're mad, because they saw the newspapers and it says that sentence. Yes. And it says Phillip Anderson. And everyone's going to think, oh, I want to protest against big tech. And that's what happened. I was getting thousands and thousands and thousands of followers more quickly than ever before. I went from having 2,000 followers on Twitter to having 20,000 followers in just hours. Okay, yep. These people were terrified. So that's why they immediately banned me, because they're thinking this is a movement. This is bigger than just a person who's speaking the truth. This is a movement. They're going to come in thousands and save free speech. They're going to save people's right to peacefully protest. They're going to hold us accountable. They're going to guarantee that we can no longer interfere in elections, that, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, especially Twitter, can no longer commit and engage in their illegal election interference. And that's the reason why, because they don't believe in your freedom. They don't believe in your right to peacefully protest. And above all, they don't believe in your right to simply be an American citizen and make the necessary changes in your own country to save your own country and save your own people. That's why your country is burning down right now, because they're not giving a voice to the people that don't want your country to burn down. They're silencing all the people who don't want the country to burn down. That's why they took me out. Why? Because I'm fighting for free speech and I'm fighting for the right to peaceful protest. And on top of doing that, I'm exposing big tech by saying, yeah, you guys take people down for hate speech. You ban people for complete bullshit because of hate speech. And that's the whole reason why we have groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter, because they say, oh, I'm offended. You said something sexist. You said something racist. You said something misogynist, bigoted, homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic, whatever. And that's what they created. All these radical people that can beat you up for any possible reason in the middle of the street, especially at an event in San Francisco.
Yeah. Big
tech and the media have worked together to build that, and they proved that when all three of these platforms banned me at the same time, when I'm literally the black victim of a hate crime, okay? You don't ban the victim of a hate crime. You don't mess with anyone who's the victim of a hate crime. At least not within that week or the next week. You just don't do that, and they know that.
They're complacent in covering up the story of a hate crime. And not only are they complacent in covering up a story of a hate crime, it is easily provable that they're covering up the story of a hate crime in order to cover themselves, because the protest, as we keep reiterating, is about big tech. It's about the censorship that not just politicians face, but everyday conservatives, everyday people who are sick to death of their city burning down are being silenced by these people, and they have the audacity to look out for their own interests above everybody else's, and in order to cover up for a crime.
Yeah, and here's a real big issue, guys. Like what's happened in the event in San Francisco, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to have another event in San Francisco. It's going to be a peaceful march. That's what we're planning on November 1st. We're going to link arms and have the MLK, Martin Luther King style peaceful protest. And here's the thing. I can't guarantee for sure, that every single person will not be attacked. That they won't throw something at you. I just can't do that. I can't. That's impossible. I will be honest with you now, okay? But here's the thing. I'm willing to die for this country, because without this freedom, we're screwed and things will just get worse. And you're eventually going to get beaten up anyway. You're eventually going to get your teeth knocked out anyway. And if you wait till years later, no matter what you do, you won't be able to save free speech. You won't be able to save your right to peacefully protest. You will no longer be Americans. You're literally going to be slaves. It'll be the same as you living in a communist country. no matter what you do, you can't change it. You can't, unless there's an actual war in the streets.
When you go to a rally, especially these days, you have to be ready to be confronted by somebody who's violent. That's absolutely the case. I believe going forward in this situation, this is going to be examples where we need to reach out to fellow patriots and other free speech advocates who have experience in security, who have or who are actively security, because these are the kind of people who could coordinate with the police officers in advance, and they can help organize how to have security and how to have police so that it is most optimal for safety. And I think that that's going to be incredibly crucial when it comes to a march, and I think that it's totally doable, especially with what we learned from this last one. Just coordination in advance is so important.
Yeah,
like having
it's unfortunate what happened this last event just recently, but I'll tell you what, now we know. Now we know exactly what we're dealing with to the very last detail. We know every last thing they'll try to do. We know exactly how they operate. So next time it will be different. We'll know what to expect. But when it comes down to it, there's people who are saying, well, you need to prepare better. You can prepare better. I'm not going to say any names, but I will say this. If you actually truly believe that, then you would have told me the ways to prepare better. I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to, other people. It's kind of like, I'm not going to hide it. Like Joe Biggs and Enrique. Really so much Joe Biggs, but also Enrique. Because here's the thing. I don't have time for us. We don't have the time to be fighting with each other and talking shit about each other to where Newsweek is going to post an article about us. Because that article went out, Joe Biggs and Enrique Tarrio. I guess we were talking crap about me, and I didn't even take the time to read it because I just don't have the time to do that. I've been busy. But here's the thing. I did an interview with ABC News defending you guys. Mm-hmm. So now guess what? They're going to call you racist. Going to call you racist for attacking me. It's like, look, this is how Proud Boys think of black people. Of course, you don't think that, obviously, Enrique, Joe, but guess what? That's what they're going to say. So please stop screwing yourselves over, because right now the enemy is big tech. They just completely deplatformed a black victim of a hate crime. Okay, this has never happened before. Literally, I've gone viral with like at least half the country, entire country, has seen what happened to me. They heard about it, and here's the thing: if we waste this opportunity right here, we're screwed. We can't waste opportunities like this, because if the shoe was on the other foot and this happened to a black person who happened to be a Democrat, guess what? They'd win the election probably with this. Okay. And what we're trying to do is just end the election interference. And we're just trying to save our rights, save our free speech. That's all we're trying to do. If we can't even do that, if we can't even peacefully protest, if we can't even just say the facts of what happened to me and hold big tech and Twitter accountable for what they did to me, and hold Facebook and Instagram accountable for what they did to me by inciting nationwide protests, making a trend, telling everyone. And the more they try to shadow ban the hashtags or the name of the event or the name of the entire nationwide project with people going and protesting in front of the Twitter headquarters, Facebook headquarters, and Instagram headquarters, all the headquarters, Google headquarters, YouTube headquarters, you name it. But primarily Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, those headquarters, the more that people post about it, the more that you make it a movement, and you say my name, because I'm a martyr now. I was a victim of hate crime. They knocked out my front teeth, and then they completely took me out. So I'm a martyr now, and you guys should use me. You really should, because you can use my name. You can use Team Save America. You can call it the Free the Slaves movement, because we really are slaves at this point. You can call it Free the Slaves. That's what I'm fixing to call the event. Well, I'm going to talk to a couple other people because we're going to put it to a vote, but that's what I'm voting for, Free the Slaves. Use me. Say my name. Say my name. Do it. I can't speak for myself anymore. They decided to take me out after knocking out my front teeth and call me the N-word over and over. They're going to silence me, the victim, instead of holding my attackers accountable. They easily could have hunted these people down who attacked me on social media. They chose not to. They chose not to ban any of the pedophiles. Instead, they're banning innocent people like me, law-abiding citizens. I didn't post anything that was a bannable offense. I didn't even post a single thing on Twitter. Twitter, this entire time, has never taken down a single one of my tweets. Not even one. Not even one. And all of a sudden, ban. What? So Instagram has never taken down any of my, Twitter has never taken down any of my tweets, then I get banned. Instagram, yeah, they've taken down my posts, but it's always a lie, because they'll say, oh, this goes against guidelines. I'm like, it's literally a guy driving a bulldozer down the street. Okay, it's literally just a picture of my own face after they knocked my fucking teeth out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's against community guidelines because that's what they did and trying to hide it. But, that's the thing. Every time they take down my post, it's not because I did something that they think is offensive. It's because they take down some random thing. Like, I could post a picture right now like this. Or I could literally just post a picture of this pin without my face in it, and they would find a way to take it down, okay, and say that it's against guidelines. Because that's what they do. That's how they keep me from doing live video. They kept me off doing live videos for 3 months straight because they keep taking down posts that do not go against their guidelines, and they continue to shadow ban me. So when they ban me on the Instagram, and then they ban me on Facebook, and then they ban me on Twitter, we all know that it's political takedown. We all know that it's treason against Americans. We all know what it is. Mm-hmm. These people have to be protested. They have to be. And we don't see it happening at the moment, and we need to make it happen. So be sure, if you're watching this, go on Twitter right now. You're watching this, right? You can still hear us, right? Go on Twitter. Go on Facebook. Go on YouTube. Go on Instagram, especially Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and post a tweet. And if you want to add your own words to it, then make a video and say, this is what happened to this guy, Phillip Anderson. I'm not saying this because I want cheap fame. This isn't cheap, okay? It's not. First off. Second off, they already deplatformed me. So I'm not going to ever build a following. It's just in name. It's just in the fact that you want to save this country. I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not going to be getting any money out of this. I only have the goal of saving this country. I'm willing to risk my life to do it. I'm willing to literally die, give my life to do it. Because this is the country that saved my life. Okay? It is. I'm an immigrant. I'm going to save this country. I'm going to save your rights. In order to do that, I need to just save my name. Because it will work right now. So, everyone.
So, I do want to. There was a lot in between that. I do want to address the Proud Boy situation, because I'm not playing devil's advocate on either side. I think that we had
that's fine. You can. The truth is singular. The truth is singular. Okay, it doesn't matter what people's feelings are. We're getting down to the facts.
Well,
so see what you want to say.
Leading up to the event, I had expressed personally concerns with open feuds that were going on, particularly with Adriana, and I don't remember the other person's name. I'm terribly sorry. But there was
Tario, Joe Biggs.
It was Obi-Wan, I think. I don't
Obi-Wan, know. Yeah, he didn't really have a beef with me or anything. We just had a little spat in the Twitter comments. It was misunderstanding.
When that was going on, I kind of had an issue with that. I'm guilty of it as well because I went on and I kind of aired all the dirty laundry myself. Again,
well,
we've gone over that.
Okay.
So the thing is, I just want to get this out. Let me get this out.
It was your first time. It's okay. Honest mistake. Shit happens. And we're never going to do it again.
I want to say, I know for a fact, and I mean, I haven't been able to speak with them since, but I know that the reason that Joe Biggs did that video the next day was because of what you said about Enrique the night the incident happened. Is because of the words that you used particularly.
You're talking about when I got back
when you were back at the hotel. Enrique had shared on Parler that he told you to plan better, but that he still supported you and he was going to pray for you. And you made a video basically, and you were like, Well, then what you said was that he was an Uncle Tom. You called him an Uncle Tom. You called him an Uncle Tom and a coon.
That's not. I'm saying that's what people. Wait, I didn't call him Uncle Tom. Here's what I said. I said white supremacist, Nazi, racist.
You said people are always going to look at you as an Uncle Tom and a coon.
I'm not saying that's what he is.
You said that people are. What you specifically said is that people are always going to look at you as an Uncle Tom or a coon. So that's what he was.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about changing the narrative, okay? I obviously don't think that about Enrique Tarrio. If I were to think about Enrique Tarrio, I would think that about myself. Because we're the same.
I understand.
We're colored people who have a brain.
I'm telling you how that was perceived, and I'm hopeful that you guys can have a sit down and conversation.
That's because
and I think that you will.
Miscommunication. our team was busy while we were on the ground, and someone just came saying, "Wow, Enrique just trashed our entire event after you got your teeth knocked out and after people got hurt. You should have been more supportive." They're saying that like he was laughing at me. That's the way they said it.
No,
They said that he was laughing at me, and that he was like,
listen,
and people responding to it very negatively, saying like, "Enrique, that's not okay. What you're saying is wrong. This post isn't funny." That's what I heard.
So I just say,
with hearing that, my post would be perfect. The perfect response if that's what I heard him say is actually what he said. You're saying something different than Enrique Tarrio. I'm sorry for the video I posted.
I personally spoke with him. He was he said to me very explicitly, and I thought he was extremely diplomatic. He was saying that, yes, it was terrible what happened to you. The only thing that he said, which is what I said, was there needed to be better preparation. There needed to be more coordination with security.
I know, but he could have helped you with that, and he didn't. He's the expert on that. He could have helped you with that. I'm just saying.
I don't think Enrique had. I'm not going to speak on that. I think he can speak
I'm
on
not saying that he has to. I'm just saying, you could have. That was an option.
I also, like we said, I volunteered to be the person that got delegated that kind of work. And we won't have that problem in the future, and I know that we won't have that problem in the future, but just so you know, like, personally, the only reason that escalated was because of the comment. And I know that I don't really care
if they talk shit about me or not. It's just a news article. I don't take any of that to heart, because these guys can change their mind the next day when we actually come together and we talk face to face, and they'll realize, yeah, you're giving bad information, I was giving bad information. You were in Miami, I was in San Francisco, I was getting my teeth knocked out. You're getting a bunch of phone calls about, wow, there's this event where the Proud Boys there or not. So I get it. I'm not stupid. I know that people were contacting like crazy, asking for interviews, being like, tell us why this event happened. Is Phillip Anderson, were you planning this? Did you pay him? Enrique, I know what the media does. I get it. I get why you may have had to say whatever you said. But here's the thing. I don't take any to heart. The target right now is big tech. Okay, Enrique? Okay, Joe Biggs? Okay, all Proud Boys? All right? The target right now is big tech, because we can't deal with the infighting. We need to fight back against the people who are destroying our freedom. After we get our freedom back, we can literally put the gloves on and box, and you can knock all my teeth out if you want, and I can knock out all your teeth. I'm being serious. I don't even care as long as I have my freedom, okay?
Yeah. That's like I'm really appreciative that you came on for this. I'm really appreciative of how much support you've been offering people. Like I said, that was what I was concerned about from the beginning, and I'm really happy that got addressed, and I just wanted to make sure that I helped spread a different narrative than I had been originally today. I
didn't see anything that you said. I just heard that Kim is, coming after you, she's attacking you, and I'm just like, oh no, that's not good. I guess I'll talk to her, I'll call her. And the second we talked, we understood that, it was all a misunderstanding, and we're friends again. We're always friends. You just were really surprised, I guess, because you were surprised that I booted you out of the chat. When it comes down to it, I didn't just kick you out of the chat. I also left the chat myself just seconds after I booted you out, and because I didn't even want to be talking to people. I was so busy. I was just like, okay, I'll boot her. They can add her back in if they want to add her back in later. And then I decided to leave the chat myself. But either way, I'm not going to be booting anyone out of chats anymore unless, like, they're real, like, doxing us or doing something crazy.
Yeah.
And that's that. But I'm going to have to go on a bit. Is there any last questions?
No. Is there anything that you want to say, any final remarks, or anything that you want to address to big tech or anybody who thinks that they can get in the way of free speech and our fight for patriots?
No, nothing can get in the way of this, because even if they're going to take down hashtags, which did have to do to many people, and you guys could post about how they took down those hashtags, it's going to get to the point that people will be posting pictures of my face. Just a picture of my face like this with my teeth, and say Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, why did you all ban and deplatform this guy completely off the internet at the same time? This is a black victim of a hate crime. Why did you attack the victim and not the attackers?
Yeah.
Don't Black Lives Matter. And
well, that's what I think. Like that. I think when you talk to your lawyer, I would see if you could do something to pull big tech into the cover up of your hate crime, because that's what they did. They essentially banned you, even though you had never had anything on Twitter before. basically to cover
Well,
up their
actually,
involvement.
Just to be clear, I did. I'm never going to lie. I appreciate that you're defending me, but that's just because you don't know. I did have things on Twitter before, but the whole issue is they didn't even know that I existed back then. It was just the algorithm. It was just getting hit with the book.
Okay,
like
so
the first time, there's two main times, and the other times it was just me and other people joking around saying, can I get back on Twitter this way or that way? The two times I was actually banned off Twitter, the first time, they couldn't even tell me the reason why. I sent over 16 appeals asking them why. They can't show me a post, a tweet, a video, or anything I did that violated the guidelines. They couldn't.
Anything
the second
that we
time,
can prove,
because I said the word bitch, which is obviously does not violate their guidelines. Where you're going to ban black people for saying the word bitch. So you're going to ban all the rap artists. I can't wait to do interviews. It's gonna be great.
I got suspended from Twitter once for saying dumbass, so like they'll do anything to come after. And it was literally the person's handle, by the way. I just want to say that. Like, they will come after you for freaking anything. Like, I personally can't post pictures without sensitive content warnings, and I'm freaking nothing on Twitter. So,
and here's the argument to that. Like, so when they suspend you for that, they say on the basis of religious, or because of sex, gender. So they're saying that if you're this gender, you're this religion, you're this whatever, then you actually are a dumbass. And that's offensive to all the dumbass gay or Muslim or whatever people. It's bullshit. They're banning people for no reason, okay?
I agree.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because if you go into Twitter search bar and you type in the word bitch, okay, the word bitch, you'll see that per every 1 second, there's 2 tweets that have the word bitch in it.
Yeah.
Every time. And they still took me down for that when they don't do it to anyone else. So that's a ridiculous thing. Yeah. But then the third time, they didn't even know who I was until this all happened. And even before they knew who I was, I didn't get a single tweet taken down. Not even one tweet. Okay? So I'm going to have to go ahead and go.
Well, thank you so much, Phil. I really appreciate you. And I'm happy to stand by your side to keep up with the fight for America. And I'll keep sharing this story.
Oh, yeah, guys, by the way, this flight is all the way up to November 3rd, okay?
Mm-hmm. And beyond, honestly.
Sure say the name Phillip Anderson. Like, I know there's people be thinking, no, we're trying to promote him. I'm like, no, dude, it's literally because this is it. Like, this is your best chance. You need to use it, okay? Because I'm a good person, as you can see in this interview. I'm more than willing to talk to anyone, answer anyone's questions, especially to Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, okay? Especially to Susan Wojcicki, or whatever her name is. I'm willing to talk to you, but you won't talk to me. Instead, you hide behind a keyboard and you silence me and ban me. But that's the whole point right there.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be silencing me or banning me. I'm not dangerous. I just believe in free speech and peaceful protest, and that's the reason why they took me out. And everyone needs to protest that. Everyone needs to go on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, right now. Say Phillip Anderson. Say the victim of a hate crime.
Take advantage of your presence on social media for those of us who
if he was a Democrat, he'd be a millionaire right now. And, he'd be having 500,000, like 5 million followers. He'd be the next Breonna Taylor. And they ban me. They don't care about Black lives. That's all it is. So thank you so much, but I got to go.
Thanks. God bless, Phil.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. Well, that was Phil. I'm really happy I was able to do this. Like I said, my biggest issue when this whole thing happened was it seemed as though he wasn't going to take ownership for people who believe that there's going to be extra security. And I was also worried that, all of that doesn't matter. All that's available on the Twitter. On the Twitter. I've never sounded so old. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for sticking with us through all of this. Infighting is never really good. It's not a good look. And it doesn't help the cause. But sometimes you gotta work out interpersonal conflicts. I personally did believe that that wasn't going to be possible as early as this morning, and I was obviously proven wrong. I'm glad that we're all taking accountability for where we messed up and for the people that were really hurt. And just let me check the comments. Let me see. We need to We need to protest to repeal and replace Section 230. No, why would we do that? Anyway, so thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm sorry I haven't been around in a while. Got some pretty big stuff coming up in life, and we'll talk about that at some point. I'll be releasing more articles starting again tomorrow morning. I'm going to be submitting articles again to the National File. Sorry again for the hiatus. I've got some stuff going on, but we need to fight to help America, and we need to stay on track, and that means that people like me who report the news have to be diligent, and I promise you that you'll see more of that from me. Not Neutral News will be back soon as well, so keep an eye out for that. Me and Tim are going to be making a lot of content for you guys. Let's see, I'm going to read the comments one more time, and then I'm going to log off because I'm a little bit tired. I didn't expect to be up this late. I'm happy you two can have a civil conversation, makes us stronger. Yes, God really does work miracles in our lives if you ask him to, and I pray a lot about this kind of stuff. I started to make a video that I was going to release about the screenshots and all of that stuff, but Phil did the right thing, and he reached out to those people, and he did the right thing, and came clean about the security. So, like I said, that's really all I cared about. Everybody does need to do their part. Thank you guys. I'm sure you guys could tell how tired I am. I must sound exhausted. I don't want to keep talking in circles, but God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments and kind words. Thank you for your support. Thank you for not judging me too harshly. We all make mistakes, including me, and I'm willing to take accountability for that, especially on this accountability stream. And that'll be all, guys. I think that was the last comment anyway. All right, have a good night. I'll be checking in with you guys tomorrow via National File, www.nationalfile.com. Keep an eye out for my articles. I'll be writing up something about tonight. Probably I'll either submit that to National File or Medium. I'm still deciding. Yes, God bless. God bless America. Trump 2020. And stay gold.